Greetings, my scattered brothers and sisters in the Lord. Trust you know that the Lord is with you wherever you find yourself scattered today, and that you know the Lord's presence is more than enough for whatever you might face today. You are my friends if you do what I command. Now, you might be thinking, what kind of friendship is that? Well, those are the words of Jesus, right square in the middle of John chapter 15. Jesus says, "You are my friends if you do what I command." Now, you'll recall this is the chapter where Jesus says, "I am the true vine and my Father is the gardener," and that he prunes all the branches in me that are bearing fruit so that they might bear more fruit. And Jesus calls us to remain in him, that apart from him we can do nothing. He also asserts that the way to remain in him is the same way that he remains in the Father, remains in the love of the Father, that he listens to the Father, he obeys the Father. And so if we are to remain in the love of Jesus, that means we need to listen to him, that we need to keep his commands, that we need to obey. And the command is basically to love one another, that we remain in the love of Jesus as we love one another. Well, Jesus goes on to say that there's no greater love than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Jesus further says, "You are my friends." You're no longer called slaves. You're no longer called servants, that a servant does not know his master's business. But I have called you friends because I have revealed to you, shared with you, made known to you everything that I have heard from the Father. And so we're friends of Jesus because he reveals to us what the Father has revealed to him. He goes a little bit further in terms of saying, "You're my friends if you listen to me, if you keep my commands," and that he has chosen us, not that we have chosen him, but Jesus has chosen us that we might bear fruit, fruit that will last. And then he issues that command again, to love one another. Now, when we think about friendship, we tend to think a friend is someone who comes alongside of us, who sticks with us, who befriends us at our point of need, who understands us, all of that. And we almost don't even think about a friend in terms of, if I'm going to be somebody's friend, I need to do what they say. Or if somebody's going to be my friend, they need to do what I say. We normally don't think about friendship like that. And so maybe the better way to think about this, maybe this is how Jesus is thinking about friendship, is that a friend is someone that is an associate of yours, someone that you select to come alongside you and engage in the same enterprise that you're engaged in. And Jesus is still the leader of this enterprise. He's still the one to be listened to. But rather than being a servant who doesn't know what's going on, that's just given a task to do, Jesus so calls us alongside of him that he reveals to us all that the Father has made known to him. And so what he hears from the Father, he tells us, he brings us along into that same venture that Jesus is, that same mission that Jesus has been sent on as friends. He calls us into that mission as his associates. So I'm not taking away from Jesus being that friend, that one who comes alongside of us, meets us at our point of need, cares for us, walks with us, talks with us. Certainly Jesus is that friend, best friend we'll ever have. But there's more to friendship than that. The friendship that Jesus is highlighting is that he calls us to his side and makes known to us what he's about and invites us to be part of that very endeavor of bearing fruit for his glory, for the Father's glory. He calls us, he appoints us to bear fruit, fruit that will last. He calls us, he appoints us to love. And we are to love as he has loved us. So wherever you're scattered today, yes, celebrate. What a friend we have in Jesus. But don't allow friendship to simply be reduced to where Jesus comes alongside of us and supports us. Realize that as Jesus speaks, there's more than that to friendship, that Jesus actually calls us to his side and reveals to us his work and calls us to be participants in that, associates of his, engaged in that endeavor of loving one another. So, wherever you are scattered today, be a good friend to Jesus. Listen to him and love as he has loved us. God bless. Have a great day and be a friend.